Hello, friends. Welcome to Take Two for this Wednesday, the 13th of July, 2022. I'm Jeannie. I'm so glad you decided to come along for the ride today. Well, sometimes you just got to stop and smell the coffee. And that's exactly what I'm doing right now, is I just taking a little bit of solitude to come to one of my favorite coffee places here in downtown Dothan, Alabama, called the Mural City Coffee House. And I really like coming here because it's just a really cool atmosphere. There's art on the walls from local artists, and there's the smell of coffee brewing, and you never know who you're going to bump into. I may bump into a few people today. But as Michael needed to meet his friend here today, as they usually try to meet at least once a week, I said, well, can I come along for the ride? And I'll just go off to another part of, it's a big coffee house, so go off to another part of it and just have some time to myself while you two meet. And he said, yeah, that'll be fine, but then come join us after a while. So I said, okay. So I said, what a better opportunity. What a good opportunity to do this. So that's what I'm doing. As I said, once in a while, you just need to stop and smell the coffee. Now, we just had an almost month-long trip visiting relatives, seeing folks, going to a family wedding, doing a number of different fun things. But it was go, 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 go the entire time, driving through 14 states and sleeping in several different beds and seeing folks we hadn't seen some in decades. And it was really wonderful to be able to do that. But, very little of that time was spent stopping and smelling the coffee. We did linger and visit with friends, don't get me wrong, and linger and visit with relatives and that kind of thing. But it's always thinking what you got to do next. And on a day like today, a rainy Southeast Alabama day like this, it's we're not in a big giant rush. We may be here an hour, we may be here 2. There's not a whole lot of days like this because we usually have a very busy, big, and full calendar. This is one of those rare times where we could stop and smell the coffee. So what better place to do that than in a local coffee house? But I do want to say this. I think it's important that we take time, carve out time for ourselves without feeling guilty. Carve out a little bit of time if you need to, because that's what keeps you sane, to take time and take a break. Because sometimes there's beautiful sights and scents and images around you, and you just don't take the time to enjoy it. If we'd have gone zoom, 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 zoom on the road without stopping and looking at the mountains and the trees and the water and all the things that we passed, what good would that trip have been if we couldn't have stopped and enjoyed it? There were some times we got off the interstate when we had a little bit of time to spare, and we took alternate roads. We went through small towns, went through places we'd never been before. Was it a few extra miles on the car? Yeah, sure. Was it worth it? Oh my goodness, it certainly was. We did stop here and there to get a cup of coffee or to have a snack or just to stop and look at the flowers or the trees or stop past a lake and pull over and just look at it. It was so worth it. Sometimes you just have to stop and smell the coffee, if you know what I mean. So listen, go out and be a blessing to somebody today. You may end up being the only one who is. You may know somebody who needs to just stop and go get that cup of coffee with you. If you can, do it. Don't delay. It's so worth it. It's so worth it to take the time to go and encourage a friend. Listen, don't forget to subscribe to this YouTube channel, too. I hope that my YouTube programs, I hope that they are a blessing to you. Just go to YouTube and look up JeanneSigler, hit the subscribe button, that notification bell, and I will notify you every time I'm going to post another Take Two and it's premiering, okay? Don't forget to do that. And also, please, if you want to hear some great music, great programming, go to ultimateoldiesradio.com every Saturday at 9 Eastern, 8 Central, AM and PM. And you can hear my program through the eyes of a New York woman. Then you could hear it again on Sundays at 4 Central, 5 Eastern on oldies700.com. That's oldies700.com. And right after my program on oldies700.com, you can hear On the Road with Chef Michael. So please keep it tuned there and enjoy that great programming. All right, you be blessed and enjoy your whole day. Go brew yourself a cup of coffee, or better yet, why don't you go out and take somebody out for a cup of coffee? may just make their day. I love you. I'll see you next week. Bye-bye.